they call this the Rogue River bait rig. And what we do is we have our leader, and it has a loop on one end. And what we do is we thread it through the anchovy. And then we'll pull the loop end out through the butt of the anchovy. Then we put our treble hook on. And again, with every treble hook, there's an odd hook to every treble hook. So as you can see here, these two hooks, they go up the outside of the hole, whereas the one on the opposite side points directly at the hole. And that's the hook that I use to put it inside the anchovy. And we'll take that barb and that hook, I usually set it back, just get those short biters, and I'll curve it in and around, and I'll grab that backbone like that. So then when we tighten it down, it'll just pull that anchovy, and we'll get a nice little kind of a banana bend like that. So get it in there, it's nice and tight. I'll slide the nose hook down. We'll fit it in through under the jaw, and we'll get it to the barb of this to just catch the that skull cavity. And you don't ever want the barb to pop out. Once that barb pops out, then this nose hook just will slide back and forth, and it just won't keep a good true bait. It'll just end up blowing your bait out. So but then you pull it a little bit tight like so, like that, and that bait will spin like a drill when it's in the water, and fish love that. Where's he at? There he is. Okay. So these would be little number 2 nose hook that we use here, little Gamakatsu nose hook. And the treble hook that I like to use is a number 3 round bend Gamakatsu hooks. A lot of people think, oh yeah, you need those big hooks for keeping in those fish, but in this particular case, these smaller hooks, I believe they're much more effective. They stay in the fish better, and you know, a little bit of the engineering behind the hook is, you know, when you have a larger hook, you create a bigger leverage point on the bend of the hook, so that hook's has the tendency to straighten out a little bit more. These smaller hooks and that smaller shaft, that barb and that shank will bury in that fish so much deeper, and then there's a lot less leverage for it to pull and straighten out. So my experience has always told me that smaller hooks, they stay in better, and they're a lot stronger than those bigger hooks for our fish down here. So
I even run number 4s. A lot of time I run number 4s, run the 3s, and only when I'm using like a Mac Daddy bait I'll run a 2, but like the big hooks, I feel like they get in the way a lot of times because you miss more bites on the 2s, I feel like, than you do the 4s or 3s.
What does Mac Daddy mean?
Mac Daddy means a big version of that, like 3 times the size of that. That's a Mac Daddy.
Are these brined at all, or?
Yeah, so we do. We kind of have our own little brine and stuff that we've been doing. It's just kind of a concoction of stuff, but mostly it's salt. We like having our baits be a little bit more on the firm side. They just hold up a lot better, and they're not soft. You know, get a nice little shine on there. Some of that brine that we throw in there too, we throw a little bit of that Procure. What is it called? Bright and Shine, or Shine and Bright Procure. And you know, we see a lot of guys use that down here. Some guys like to just do the natural shine, or some guys will dye them green or blue or red. But you know, as long as you have a nice bait that it's shiny, it's presentable, it spins nice, I think that you just get that in front of these fish's face as they're coming through. They won't be able to resist. Got a new fresh bait rigged up here, and you know, one of the things that I think is pretty important out here is scents. You're anchored in one spot, and you kind of let that scent trail down behind the boat. And you know, kind of the theory behind that is salmon hone into the scent and will hopefully follow that scent trail all the way up to your bait here and hook themselves. So here's what we're using today: the Procure Bloody Tuna Oil, and we have it with the injectors needle. And I just tuck it down into the body cavity, just give it a squeeze, fill that cavity up until it starts coming out, and that's it. That'll continue to leach out for a pretty long period of time, but I don't know, every half hour, when you're checking your baits, give it a fresh squeeze of juice and keep that scent trail fresh.